I'd like to welcome everybody to Lee Snyder Field, Championship Saturday INFC 2018. We're about ready to kick off with the 7th grade INFC Championship here at the 8 o'clock game. Along my side is a good friend, head coach here at Bixby High School, Coach Lauren Montgomery. Lauren, what are you looking for on Jenks' side? You've seen it, you've coached over there before. What kind of stuff are they going to bring to us that they do with the varsity?
Well, I tell you what, it's a team that brings a ton of physical line play. Number 61, Jesse Jones, big unblockable nose guard. Look for him to control the line of scrimmage. And then on the Bixby sideline, look for a couple different players. Number 40, Sam McCormick, and quarterback Clay Peters. Those guys have been tremendous all year long.
Lauren, we've had great games today. Why don't you take us to the game summary and give us some of the scores that have happened throughout the day today. We started at 10:30 in the 2nd grade.
Yeah, in 2nd grade, we started off with a double overtime thriller with Broken Arrow over Collinsville, 6-0. Then went straight to Bartlesville over Bartlesville Stillwater. Stillwater came out 12-6 on that one. In the 4th grade game, Broken Arrow 20 and Jenks 34, and then in the 5th grade had a dominating performance by Bixby Red, 20-0. And then our last game was a dominating performance by Sequoia, 27-6 over Grove. So looking forward to this nightcap here between Jenks and Bixby, Stick.
Well, we're going to take it down to Elise. Elise, take it away.
To wrap up an intense day of championship football here in Bixby, Oklahoma, we are closing it out with Bixby Red and Jenks Silver. Coach McClure from Bixby Red talked to me a little bit earlier. He said that they have some extreme speed in their players. They might lack some size that Jenks Silver might have tonight, but as soon as they get the ball, they're going to be able to run it. And you know what, even with the loss of one of their very valuable players earlier to a broken leg earlier this week, they're going to be able to recover fine. They're going to kick off and start a great game.
Well, Lauren, it's going to be an exciting game here. I'm looking forward to working it with you. The 7th grade last game of the matchup. Everybody, please stay tuned as we'll come right back here for 7th grade action, Championship Saturday.
It takes enough. Down the line.
Good morning.
We're America's #1 sporting goods store, and we're always open. Every season starts at Dix.com.
Well, Lauren, as we're about to get the kickoff, it looks like Jenks won the toss and will receive. And we start off with the onside kick, and it's kind of booted there, but it's recovered by number 29 for the number 29 Cole Caperton for the Trojans, and they'll tar it over 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line, and we'll see kind of like what you talked about. The head coach is Byron Corwin. You know the Corwin family. You know their son's a quarterback over there. I expect to see the same kind of stuff from up to the varsity all the way down here to this 7th grade team.
Yeah, you know Ian Corwin, the quarterback for the Jenks Trojans, 3-year starter, has had an influence on this little team. And you see immediately Jenks comes out in 10 personnel in doubles and spreading the field wide.
Well, it looks like we had the H-back start a little quick, and it'll march off 5 yards. Of course, this is Championship Saturday. Everybody's blood's flowing just like it would be, and you've been a part of state championship games. Get that first couple snaps under your belt, and then away we go.
Yeah, after those first couple of snaps, Stick, it'll just be a normal football game for these boys, but they've been waiting to play all day long. 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday without a lot going on. You know their nerves have been running wild.
It'll bring up 1st down and 15 at the 43-yard line. Twins right, twins left, single shotgun. Now quarterback draw up the middle. Nice job stopped in there, led in there by big number 7, Brody Duffel.
Yeah, and you see Brody Duffel just immediately getting great penetration, flying to the football, and give that defensive line credit up inside for getting good push. It's just hard to run the ball right there, trying to run a little quarterback power when the defensive line gets that sort of push.
Well, also back there at safety, another difference maker we didn't quite touch on, as we can't touch on all of them early, but is Gavin Steele, and you have his brother, I do believe, up on the varsity, and who has done a tremendous job, as I do the play for the varsity. Just another athlete that you have on the field, and they use him the same way you use the older brother.
Yeah, Corbin, he's been great in our defensive backfield and also plays a lot of quarterback. Had a couple touchdowns last night, as a matter of fact, in our game against Lawton. So good family, a lot of recognizable families out here.
Jenks goes with a jet sweep around the right side, gets some key blocks as they make up for the 5 yards that they lost on the false start, and they get close to the 49-yard line, it looks like.
Number 4, Braden Barnes, right here on the stretch block, or the stretch play behind the blocking of Jet Turner. A well-designed play, but with a false start penalty and then getting packed there on first down, it made for a tough, manageable down. So we're looking at 3rd down and 7 right here for the Trojans.
They'll come out. Now they're going jumbo overload to looks to the left side. I formation, quarterback's under center. And we have a fumble on the snap. And I could see why you could, because rarely do you see too many kids going under center nowadays, and it probably, just they don't practice it a whole lot.
Yeah, no, it's a different deal. In order to kill the clock, if you're going 2-minute drill, you have to do it under center, or otherwise if you do it from the shotgun, for some reason it's intentional grounding. And so it's something that whether you're going to be in shotgun 100% of the time, you still got to work those basics under center snaps, because otherwise you're going to be in that situation and not be able to do it. And
you guys run a lot of jumbo when you're at the varsity level. You run it under there, and so they do it also here with Coach Corwin's team. It'll bring up 4th down and 8. Look for them to try to draw them offside, get a quick 5 yards. Corwin back to pass, and he's hit as soon as he throws it, knocked down by Lewis, number 34, in coverage. It'll be a turnover on downs. Great coverage, great penetration by, I do believe it was number 40, McCormick, as he hits number 10. That would be Landon Corwin, just as he's about to release, and forces the pass to be a little wide.
Got to give Coach Bruce McClure a little bit of credit there playing the percentages. He just went with an all-out blitz on Corwin, and Corwin did an excellent job of getting that pass off, but he was throwing off his back foot and wasn't able to put enough mustard on it to complete the pass over the middle, and they turned the ball over on downs.
Man in motion in the backfield, I formation with a fullback. We're going to run a straight ISO off to the left side. Nice blocking, nice tough running, and I do believe, if I was guessing, that's probably number 13, Tobin.
Great run right there by Jackson Tobin. Initial contact was made at the line of scrimmage, and he ends up turning that into a 7-yard run. So very productive run, a nice tote right there by the running back, number 13.
Now understand, last year we had the same 2 teams in the finals. They have 2 different quarterbacks and tailback. Both the quarterback and tailback, one of them was from Haskell because they don't have a 7th grade, and the other one went to another school or something. So they've done a great job getting back here with 2 brand new kids in 2 high-profile positions.
Well, Bruce, I know here at Bixby has been doing it for a long time, has been coaching this group all the way up since the 3rd grade. And, you talk about developing programs and committing to a process. He's got a process, and so fortunately with his system and his process and the blocking of this offensive line, as you see there, they're able to just plug another guy in and still continue to execute.
Well, they're picked up enough for a first down as they move the chains. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Spartans at the 39-yard line of the Trojans. We have a single wide receiver to the right. We got an H-back and a fullback in the backfield, dotted with a tailback, McCormick in motion. And he looks like he's going to lead the toss sweep over here to the right. And we're going to see great job just running over somebody. And like you talk about, running violently. And he gets it down to the 35-yard line, picks up a 4. Is number 13, Jackson Tobin.
Yeah, and look at Sam McCormick right here doing a good job on the outside linebacker, picking up the lead block, expanding that hole. And then I just love the way Tobin lowers his head right there and finishes runs. I tell you what, this is Bruce McClure-style football right here, an old offensive lineman's dream, blocking down, kicking out, stretching.
Man in motion, fakes the jet sweep, runs a counter off the right side. Is Peters. He tries to get to the edge. Nice tackle. Looks like number 23 came up and tackled Connor Thompson for the Trojans, but it brings up 3rd down and short now for the Spartans, and it kind of opens up the playbook now on 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, good play design right there, a little quarterback counter right there. They've been running the stretch play, and then came back with a fake to it and the counter back up underneath. Good play design right there, but, yeah, give Connor Thompson a lot of credit for the job that he was doing right there. making the open field tackle.
Hand off to Tobin as he tries off tackle. Tough run, and as you see his feet keep moving, and he looks like he gets close to the 29, which will be really, really close. And it looks like Kevin, I don't wear sleeves most of the time, Michaeloff, to show off those guns. It gives them a first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 as they're moving the chains again, just like you talked about Bruce McClure.
Yeah, I think Kevin goes home and watches videos of Ed Hockley, and because I've noticed him shaving his arm stick.
Well, that's getting scary. But
yeah.
you know what? Like I said, he likes what he does, and he does a very good job of it. Glad to have him out there. Single receiver to the right, single to the left. Shotgun formation, fake handoff for a boot. Nice job on the come out to the McCormick out in the flat. Nice job for him stopping and coming and catching the ball. And great job by Mr. Clay Peters as he squares his shoulders up to the line of scrimmage to get off a good pass.
Yeah, I thought it was good. The outside linebacker did an excellent job playing boot there, and Peters just pulled up inside the pocket and hit his flat route. And good execution of the naked bootleg play, and I love the first down pass call right there, play action pass call. Now second down's manageable, and I think it's 3 or 4 down territory here for Coach McClure.
Man in motion, McCormick, I formation with a fullback. Straight handoff to the fullback dive, and he does a great job getting down close to the 16-yard line, and they're moving those chains. And you know what's even more important? And this is just me guessing, but what's even more important is they have now eaten about 4.5 minutes off the clock, and we're counting down 1:20, and this first quarter is about over.
Yeah, both teams running the ball well, man. Luke Edwards right there from his tackle position doing an excellent job getting up on those linebackers, getting those extra yardage, turning those 2-yard gains into 5-yard gains. That's number 40, Sam McCormick, right there on the carry. He doing a good job getting behind his pads, picking up those tough yardages once again. So brings down a manageable down, 2nd down and 8. Let's see what Coach McClure dials up.
As we talked, I've talked to Coach Snyder on your varsity level. He always wants to at least be 2nd and 10. You know, and playing not behind the chains, but in front of them.
Coach Snyder's philosophy is to get 4 yards on first down, get half the distance on second, and convert on third is kind of the thought process that he goes by. But I tell you what, last night we were fortunate enough to be fairly explosive and got a lot of manageable downs on first down.
Well, here we are now. Now it's 3rd down, and we talked about being manageable because they didn't get behind the chains like 1st and 15. You know, got a yard, and it was 2nd and 9. So now we pick up 5, and now all of a sudden we got 3rd down and 4. And as you talked about being in 2-down territory, here all you're trying to do is maybe get at least 2 yards.
Yeah, absolutely, because, you know, they're going to have another down. But I can't say enough for number 90 and 61 in the middle for the Jenks defense. They're doing a good job getting great push right there. Number 61 is a bit reminiscent of Q Overton, who is playing for OU today, one of those big nose guards that Jenks has had over the years.
Well, guys, that'll be the end of the first quarter. And please stay tuned as we come back for an exciting 2nd quarter action in 7th grade championship Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and sharing this time with the family here this afternoon.
Stay strong. See it to feel it. You want to finish? Go finish for him. Go finish for your grandfather right now. Yes, sir. Everybody with him? Sir.
Don't forget about Indian Nations Lacrosse. Season begins in spring 2019. For more info, go to inyouth.lacrosse.com. Lacrosse, one of the biggest growing sports in the United States. So that's inyouth.lacrosse.com. I'd like to welcome everybody back here, along with Coach Lauren Montgomery, the Bixby High School football coach. We're here with the 7th grade 2nd quarter action. It's going to be a 4th down and 2 for the Spartans as they're trying to score at the 9-yard line, as they're trying to score on their first possession.
Yeah, I'd look for Dominic Ashman and big number 61, Jesse Jones, in the middle to get some push right here, and this would be a huge stop for the Trojans.
Timeout. He didn't like how he was lined up, Bruce did, so he calls a timeout to start the 2nd quarter. And as you talked about 4th down and 2, Coach, the playbook really is wide open still because it's manageable, but to me, I'm looking at going back to Tobin off tackle or, like you call the quarterback counter, faking the jet sweep and going back is what they did the play before.
Yeah, and Bruce must have changed his mind over something because he came out in a heavy formation right there, and Jenks was in a goal line defense. They were in what we call a split six with 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage and their ears pinned back. And not really sure what Bruce had called there, but I would expect him to come back and go to a power scheme of some sort, block down, kick out the 9 technique. And but you never know. Smart play action right here. They've shown the ability to throw that as well. So, anything is possible right here. And a hard count's always a good possibility right here. That would give them a first down because
that's probably one of the best plays
up
in youth football is the 3, 4, 5 count, getting that 5 yards.
Yeah,
I see that about 5 times a Saturday.
Well, you see it at every level on Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever it is, and you do it for a reason because typically defensive linemen aren't known for being terribly disciplined.
And they like what they saw as they just goes down and get down inside the 6-yard line. And you talked about getting into that power formation and blocking down and kicking out. They're just right exactly what they did. As you see, number 57 Edwards, as he pins his guy down on a double team with Tobin, and they just clear that whole hole out.
Well, like I was telling you in break, Richard, it's this offensive line is doing a really good job, and they block the right guys. I think that's a big deal. They're putting hats on the right guys and blocking the right guys, and it's giving all these running backs a good chance to be successful.
Jet sweep. He puts his foot in the ground. Great job by McCormick, and gets in for a Spartan touchdown. Nice job that time. Instead of trying to bounce it out, put his right foot in the ground, went and found the lineman that was blocking downfield with a great job and gets it in the end zone.
Yeah, excellent job right here on the stretch play. You'll notice number 17, Evan McClure, from his tight end position right there, stretching the overhang, and we were able to cut it just up inside for the touchdown, and just an excellent executed play.
Snaps down, kicks up, and the kick is good. And so with 7:33 remaining in the first half of play, Spartans take an 8-0 lead, and you've talked about this before. We talked about it every year that I've been up here with you in the box. When you can kick an extra point, and if they can, other team cannot, it makes it a 2-possession game after the first touchdown.
Yeah, certainly. And then we saw it earlier, turned a simple game into a 3-possession game with just 2 touchdowns because the other team didn't have the capacity to kick the extra point, and so it made a big difference. And so yeah, every little thing that you're able to do, every little skill set that you work on, the more discipline you have at this age, it really comes into play in the INFC.
Well, like I said, 7:33 left. Bixby will be kicking off. Jenks will get their second possession of the first half, and that was the other thing. They just took the ball about a little over 6 minutes. They had the ball, and if they can do a couple drives like that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing how fast the clock is eaten up in these games, and right there you saw that almost an entire quarter was eaten up by the Bixby's drive.
Number 17, Evan McClure, getting set to kick off.
Oh, nice hard extra point, or excuse me, onside kick, but it bounces straight over to number 34. That would be Tatum Finley for the Trojans. It'd be first down and 10 for Jenks.
Yeah, and kind of giving up. I know they're just playing the percentages like the coach over at Pulaski Academy, but giving up pretty good field position right there, giving them the ball at midfield every time. But certainly sometimes it is hard to find a kicker that can get it all the way down the field. And then, Jenks probably has some talented returners that they don't want to mess around with, giving them the opportunity to go the distance. I know Braden Barnes, number 4, is a very talented athlete, and coaches speak very highly of, and he was back there deep, so certainly don't want to get the ball in some of those guys' hands.
First down and 10, twins to the left. I formation, quarterback's under center. Straight ISO off the left side, gets to the second level, breaks a tackle. Great blocking downfield by number 3, that would be Kyra Beatty, and he picks up enough for a Trojan first down, and that's straight Jenks football from when you've been there since 2000 to what's going on now. Straight ISO off the left side, block down, kick out.
Yeah, ISO might not be glamorous, but it's always effective right there, especially if you got some guys that like to block and some guys that like to have a little contact. I noticed number 8, London Terrian, right there from his offensive line position, doing a great job getting a pin block, creating that gap. So ability to run the ball is shown early by both teams.
We got a fumble snap. Do we get a turnover?
Yeah,
And we got a
looks like
turnover
Bixby
on
recovered.
big turnover recovered by number 5, Cody Kroll for the Spartans.
Yeah, Cody, an excellent ball player. His brother has been a football and baseball player here at Bixby for a long time. Speed runs in that family, and evidently being a ball hawk runs in that family as well.
Well, it'll be first down and 10 for the Spartans at their own 41-yard line. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left, shotgun formation back to the right. Jet sweep, fakes it, goes off tackle. Great job. Just going to get 2 or 3 yards.
Good look right there on the quarterback counter off the speed sweep action. I tell you what, just a little bit of misdirection sometimes will freeze those linebackers and allow those guards time to get up to the next level. And Bruce knows that. He's been around football a long time and has really impressed me with some of his play design right here. Brings up a 2nd and 7 right here, and they're showing a little fullback motion, yo-yo motion right here, and then hitting the fullback dive up in the middle once again to number 47, Gavin Steele, who has great wheels. And if he hits that little fullback dive, that thing could go the distance.
Bring up 3rd down and 4.
See it right there, Steele churning his legs, doing a good job. And still up inside, big number 61, Jesse Jones, doing a good job getting good push. Reminds me of a lineman that Jenks had several years ago when I coached there, Orion Jones, kind of the same build, the same makeup right there. And Jesse doing a good job of getting that push up inside, showing his athleticism.
Nice job that time by number 3, Kyler Beatty, down from his defensive tackle or defensive end position, and just crashes down on the quarterback counter.
Yeah, and just running a little, as you mentioned, a quarterback counter, quarterback power look there off the edge, running the quarterback. When you're able to run your quarterback, it's kind of like you're playing with 12 guys because nobody accounts for the quarterback, and you get a lead blocker out of that tailback.
We got a big 4th down and 4.
Look for some play action right here maybe, yeah.
There he is. And the pass falls incomplete.
Great defense right there. Landon Corwin, number 10, the quarterback, did a good job of playing the drag route across the field. Quarterback tries to loft it up there, and Corwin made just an excellent play on the ball right there. Good ball skills by the quarterback. And right there, big turnover on downs. Bixby wasn't able to capitalize on the turnover. And let's see what Jenks comes out with right here. A lot of times you'll see the offensive coordinator call an explosive play or trick play or take a shot to the end zone in a situation like this.
Be first down and 10 for the Trojans at the Spartan 47-yard line. Single receiver to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. Overload. It was an overload because all they had was the center and the guard to the right, it looked like.
Looked like they were getting ready to run the old student body left toss sweep play. They had 2 or 3 extra bodies lined up over to the left, and Bruce didn't like it, so he went ahead and called a timeout to take a look and get his guys adjusted over there. So a lot of times they can line up in an overload like that, and coaches won't notice it the first or second time you do it, and then you can really pick up some good yardage. And a lot of times they won't notice that might be a tight end lined up at tackle right there on the backside, and you can hit him on a pop pass and a lot of different things. So they're going to get all their guys over to the sidelines and make sure everybody's on the same page right here.
Can you leave a tackle uncovered?
You can leave a tackle uncovered, but and I'm not sure on these INFC rules.
Because I didn't know if maybe Jenks called that timeout because maybe that tackle was uncovered, but he's uncovered again, so that obviously wasn't it. They had the alignment wrong.
Yes.
And so I just couldn't remember exactly how that went. So here we go. We got to try to get a crack.
Same type of situation there. They're an unbalanced formation right there, but Big Jackson Tobin does a good job of just stringing that thing out, bouncing it to the sidelines, and everybody rallying and tackling. And just a defense that continues to spill everything to the sidelines, allows everybody to recover and get a lot of tacklers on the ball.
Well, you talk about a ball hawk. You look at all those monsters out there on both sides of the ball. And you talked about a ball hawk in number 5, Cody Kroll, and he plays middle linebacker.
Yeah. He's tough. You know, I remember talking to Cody's older brother, and he said he's cut a little different than I am. He loves contact. He loves to play inside. He's going to be a great linebacker, Coach, I promise you. And so if you got a linebacker that can run a little bit, it's going to promise to be the makings of a good defense. Bixby showing a double A-gap pressure right there.
But great job adjusting and coming back, because he was throwing off his back foot again, but Barnes just made like you talked about, one of their best athletes, and he just comes back and makes a play on the football.
Great job there, and great job by Corwin getting that off right there as he took a hit. You know, I'll just be honest with you. I've seen his older brother do that quite a few times too many, actually, against the Spartans. So great play right there by Corwin, and great conversion right there by the Trojans.
Well, we're already under 3 minutes left in the first half, in the second quarter. This game's going by very, very fast. 2:50 and counting. 8-0 Spartans, first down and 10. And now they call a blitz off the edge, and they get to the second level because the blitz missed. And number 6, that would be Jet Turner, carries it down inside or close to the 5, down to the 7-yard line, it looks like, where it'll be first and goal.
That's 2 times in a row there that Bixby has shown the double A-gap blitz right there. And, you know, both times, the first time they got to the quarterback, but he was able to get it off. And then that time, Turner just did an excellent job of breaking that first tackle, and then nobody was home. And so let's see if they continue to be aggressive down here in this goal line situation.
Well, they're going to a bunch of offensive linemen, it looked like, in there. And this time they did a good job of sticking their nose in there. Number 7, Brody Duffel.
Old Brody Duffel, what a great player up inside, a big, physical, strong kid. He's been coming to padded camp for years, and I think has taken home a couple camp MVPs and a hog jousting award. So, yeah, we know he's going to be a great player for the Spartans.
Well, here we go, minute and 50 counting, second down and goal from the 7. Now they come out twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Under center still is Corwin. Single back in the backfield. And this time they got the gap, and this time they made the tackle is number 40, Sam McCormick. 1 out of 3. They said, well, we're going to keep trying, and this time it paid off because he almost took the handoff.
Yeah, I tell you what, Sam showed that A-gap blitz late, and those offensive linemen didn't happen to see it. Nobody picked him up, and just straight pass to the quarterback. Lucky to hang on to that ball, to be honest with you, Steve.
But you called it perfect, though, Coach, in saying that it was kind of delayed just a little bit, so those linemen engaged in somebody else, and they were already looking in another direction. And like you said, Corwin did a good job holding on to that. Could have been a costly turnover down in Spartan territory. Here it is, third and goal from the 10. Look for a pass here, and Jenks does not like how they line up, and Coach Corwin was calling another timeout with 57 seconds left till halftime. Looks like we're going to have cheerleaders for both teams for the 7th grade, as I see the Bixby cheerleaders and the Jenks cheerleaders, and we'll have them at halftime.
Yeah, and I tell you right there, that A-gap blitz, you know, to take a little pressure off those offensive linemen is extremely tough. Bixby showed a bare front down there a couple of times, and then with a A-gap pressure. So really, you're looking at a couple guys there in A-gap, and it's tough to negotiate for those offensive linemen. You know, who may or may not be shuffling positions, who may or may not have gotten much practice time since the semifinal game earlier this week with weather and cold and, you know, getting dark early. So, you know, a lot of people don't realize everything that these youngsters have to endure.
Well, like you said, if you're bringing double A-gap, that center's he's going to be wrong and right at the same time. He's going to pick up one, not pick up two if the guard ain't paying attention.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
But on the same token, you know, when you are rolling the dice like that, you will see some big plays, as we saw the first couple times they brought it. So just all depends on the defense coordinator's mentality. Let's see what they do here.
Well, it took a man out of the box. It looks like
Dead ball. Full guard against Jenks.
it'll back them up 5 more. They were down all the way to the 7, and now they're back at the 15, third down and goal. But like you said, just stay positive here for the Trojans. Corwin knows all he's got to do is get 5 to 7 yards, 5 to 10 yards here on third down, and have a manageable fourth down to try to get on the board right before halftime.
Not an offensive coordinator's favorite down and distance right here, third down and 15. There's just not a ton of plays in the playbook that look great to this situation. Let's see what Coach Corwin dials up.
Pass is short, so the pass falls incomplete. Bring up 4th down.
Great look right there. May have just been a little bit late on the slant. Had him right out of his break right here. And then right there, just an excellent play right there by number 24, Garrett Vaughn, doing a fine job inside.
I believe that was number 23, Connor Thompson, who the pass is intended to. Brings up 4th down and goal from the
Garrett Vaughn has an
15-yard
older
line.
brother on her 9th grade team, Hudson Vaughn, also a very good wrestler as well. It's funny how that works together a lot of times. Good wrestlers, good football players. Hudson's a quarterback for us, and we're expecting big things from Garrett as well.
And he gets that great job, if I'm right, that's Vaughn in coverage. He breaks it up on 4th down, and that's a great defensive stand, having 1st and goal from the 7, withstanding all the pressure, and it all started with with the penalty and with that A-gap blitz.
Well, I tell you what, Vaughn is just a competitor right there. 2 different times they targeted him, and he goes up, makes a play on the ball, never gets rattled, stays in phase, and so great play on 3rd and 4th down right there, and turn the ball over on down. So able to hold after that turnover, and I bet Coach McClure's wanted to get somebody loose right here, right at the end of this half.
1st down and 10 for the Spartans at their own 15-yard line. Shotgun formation. Quarterback keeper makes a guy miss, gets down to the 19, and I'm looking right here. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little conservative a little bit, but I like 8-0 going into halftime. No turnover here late, giving Jenks a chance to, get right back in it with a quick hit or something, because the passing game has already been deadly, throwing it up to number 4, Barnes.
Big Peyton Hawkins up front doing a good job from his offensive tackle position. You'll see him right there on a pin block that allows that to spring. Had the opportunity to coach his uncle when I coached over at Jenks years and years ago. Just a great family, great football players, a couple Division I football players in that family. And that's going to take us into half, I think, Steve.
No, they're going to call timeout,
Okay.
and here's what's going to happen. Seen them do this about, 15 times in the last 2 years. Hook and ladder.
I think we saw it a couple times in the INFC championship game last year.
Yes, sir.
And it was successful for a couple of big plays.
Yes,
I
sir,
don't
it
know if
was.
it ever got in the end zone. But
That's what I'm looking for right here when they call timeout, 11 seconds, 3rd down and 2. That's what I'm looking for, something like that.
Well, this is Lee Snyder Field, and that is a Lee Snyder special.
That is the Lee Snyder special.
Yeah.
That is a correct statement. So Mike Rogers used to run that all the time. When I say all the time, in certain situations, and I'll tell you right now, it works 7 out of 8 times. It's just one of those plays, just ran at the right time, having the right kids in the right position, and it's a lot of fun seeing it when it works.
Well, Mike knows a couple things. He knows that the number 1 guy that's catching the hitch better be a smart guy and better be under control. And, I've seen some guys over the years that have done that, like Drake Allens and, some of those guys that are super smart and don't get rattled. And so Mike understands how to design that play.
And no, they're just going to call timeout and get back, try to get the 1st down, and they do. They move the chains a little bit with 5 seconds. Be enough for a 1st down. See if he's going to call anything or if he's just going to take a chance. You know what he's doing? I just forget all about. They're calling timeout to get plays. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get plays and get the guys playing time. And now Jenks called timeout.
How many plays do you have to get in?
And here's 7.
7 plays.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I forget about when you're doing game management. You of course don't have to do it at the high school level. Is I'm like, why are you calling timeout in your place 3rd and 2? It's to get plays.
About how many plays, offensive and defense, do you get in a 7th grade INFC game?
Well, the way the first half has gone, if you double it over to the second half offensively, on the offensive side, I bet they've ran 15 to 17 plays. And so I bet you they've probably ran total, Coach, 30 to 35 plays total in the first half on offense and defense, and special teams counts also.
Yeah, so a lot of strategy,
Yes, sir.
in that regard, getting all your players in the right situations, the right formations, because,
Right.
I'm looking down there and this Bixby team has approximately, 24, 25 guys on it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of management. And so I bet you have to have an assistant coach.
And then we have
simply
2 guys
in charge
down
of that.
We have 2 guys down there for INFC counting plays. You were talking to Kaylor Pearson, who's keeping plays over on the Jenks side, and then over here's Kyle Bass, who you guys were talking to. Those guys count plays, so they're next to the play guys, and they're down there counting plays and making sure that everybody gets their 7 plays in.
Yeah.
So it's 1st down and 10 at the 27-yard line, 5 seconds till halftime. We're still expect the same quarterback power as you've called here the whole time. Expect the quarterback power. Maybe a handoff to Tobin. Nope, quarterback power. Nice job. But you know what else they've seen? Oh, ran out of bounds. But that's the thing, though. I think also McClure is looking, hey, can we find something to work with? And I'm telling you, they have found something running weak side power.
Well, I tell you what, right here, Peters, man, showed great speed right here, getting out here on the edge. Just simply got eaten up by a couple angles and the sideline, but that's something to come back to in the second half right there.
Well, hey, we'd like to thank everybody. That's been the first half here at Lee Snyder Field, 7th grade, last game of the day. Stay tuned as we come back for the second half of Indian Nation's Championship Saturday.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it with our best price guarantee. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
I'd like to welcome everybody back. We're going to go down the field and watch the Bixby Spartan cheerleaders perform at halftime.
Jerry, since their 7th grade year this year, 2018, introducing first, Addison, Bree, and Caroline. Jerry, since their 6th grade year, 2017, Macy, Mia, and Taylor. Cheering since 2016, their 5th grade year, Aubrey, Bella Rose, Giselle, Jenna, and Zoe. Cheering since her 4th grade year in 2015, Maddie. Cheering since her 3rd grade year in 2014, Emery. Cheering since 2013 when they were 2nd graders, Bella M. Blake. Bryn, and Peyton. And cheering since 2012 from the beginning in their 1st grade year, Ashlyn and Yachty. Bixby Spartans, 7th grade cheerleaders.
I'd like to welcome everybody back as we'll send it down to Elise as she's got head coach for Bixby, Coach McClure.
Joining me now is head coach McClure of Bixby Red. Coach, how are you feeling coming into the second half?
Feeling pretty good. You know, we were in this situation last year. We were in the finals and we were up at halftime and we kind of let that game slip away. So we just got to really hammer to the kids that this is not over. We got to finish this game, finish it strong and win it.
You've played this team before. Has that helped you coming into tonight to kind of know what you needed to do to be prepared?
I think so. You know, it's kind of a hit or miss thing, a double-edged sword. Sometimes you like playing a team like this again, but Jenks is always really well prepared and they're a great team. So, you know, it's just a battle up front, and whoever's going to miss a tackle or have another turnover is going to cost them the game, and hopefully we're going to make those plays that they don't make.
You know, we were talking earlier, this is it for these guys before they move up into bigger kid football. What are you hoping they're taking from the program that you've taught them?
I just hope that they have fun and they enjoy time with their friends. This is a team sport. They know that not one person wins or loses the game. Camaraderie and just have fun, and let's win.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck in the next half.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Elise. When we come back after this timeout, we'll go to second half action.
It takes enough. Down the line.
Good morning.
We're America's #1 sporting goods store, and we're always open. Every season starts at Dix.com.
I'd like to welcome everybody back here at halftime of our 7th grade game. We're going to go down to Lisa. She has the Jenks assistant coach down there with her with a sideline interview.
Joining me now is Jenks Silver Coach Jones. Coach Jones, how are you feeling about this first half of the game going into the second?
I feel good about it. We didn't put points up. We got to score in the second half, and then we'll be all right.
What are you going to do to change your game plan to take you into the second half and put some points on the board?
Not turn the ball over, get some snaps. We all right, man. That's a tough team. We've seen them before. They've seen us before. We're going to do what we do. They do what they do. The best team going to win.
Have you learned anything from the last time that you played them? You guys had a very, very close game.
Yeah, I learned that they as good as they look on film. We not bad either, though. This is our 4th championship in 5 years. We've been here before, so we in a good position. We going to get warmed up, not turn it over, play smart. We should be all right.
Clearly very impressive, and I bet we're going to have a great second half. Thanks for joining me.
All right, God bless.
Thanks. Back to y'all.
Thank you, Elise. Now we're going back to second half action as Jenks is getting ready to kick off. Back deep is Tobin for the Spartans and McCormick. Looks like they're going to pooch it over to the right. And great job by Bixby attacking the onside kick before it gets the crazy bounce, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 49-yard line.
What a great onside kick right there. I tell you what, that kickoff return team did an excellent job. I noticed big number 25, Ethan Riddle, out there on the kickoff return team doing a good job of getting up there, doing some blocking for the onside. So proud of Ethan and the leadership he's shown out here, and he's also been one of our ball boys for about the last 4 seasons for the Bixby Spartan High School team.
A lot of heavy in the backfield, reverse wishbone in the backfield. Hand off to Tobin off the right, or off the left, oh, excuse me, off the right side. Pick up about a yard. Brought down by looks like number 54, Carson Williams for the Trojans.
Bixby coming out there in a little diamond formation. I hadn't seen that in the first half, so I wonder if Bruce has a few new wrinkles for us here in the second half. And you see Jenks continuing to line up right there in their 3-4 defense, very similar to what their high school team runs. Might be a little bit tighter, almost in a bear look.
Great job on the first contact by big number 90, Dominic Eshelman, as he just sheds the nose guard and makes the first contact, but he didn't make the tackle but slowed him down for the rest of that Trojan defense to finish it off.
I tell you what, Coach McClure in the pregame talked about what a good defensive line Jenks had and how they had a couple guys up front that were almost unblockable. And Dominique showed you right there coming in off that halftime break that he's got quite a bit of punch to him at the nose guard position.
We bring up 3rd down and 7, Twins to the right, single receiver to the left, and they always have Barnes on McCormick because he's their big, tall, dangerous receiver. And it looks like he's going to go. He got a guy.
In and out of the hands right there. That's a great pass. And a little bit underthrown right there. Still had to come back to it. But, man, that's a tough catch right there with a guy draped all over you. Great pass right there under a ton of duress, under a ton of pressure from the outside pressure blitz. Man, missed opportunity there. I bet still would like to have that one back. But he's going to have another opportunity to make a big play.
Still 4th down and 7. Now we got Twins left, Twins right, or excuse me, empty backfield, Twins left, trips to the right. Jenks is not quite sure what they're doing, and they run the quick bubble, but he drops the pass, be a turnover on downs. I think they like what they had. They had it set up nicely. If he completes the pass, Jenks was still unsure in the secondary, but the pass goes incomplete, be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, the bubble screen is a tough pass. You know, everybody thinks it's an easy pass to complete, but it's a tough pass for the quarterback to complete with a guy running away from you. What a lot of teams have gone to that we've seen is simply the inside wide receiver turns and faces the quarterback and backpedals on the bubble screen, so it's an easy pass for the quarterback. And so you see that, and it seems really awkward, but your completion percentage goes way up, and the slot wide receivers tend to like it because they have a clear path to the ball coming at them.
Shotgun formation, direct snap. Great job in the backfield by number 13, Jackson Tobin, as he just comes off that outside linebacker spot and plants him for a 3-yard loss in the backfield.
Yeah, and it all starts up in the middle with old Duffel right there, number 7, just doing a good job of anchoring that defense. Bixby's lined up in a 3-4 defense, much like our high school runs. You know, both of these teams run defenses and offenses real similar to what you see with the high school. And both of these teams have good coaches that are teaching the boys really good fundamentals. You see it in the blocking and the tackling and the execution and play design. So I've been impressed with both of these teams right from the get-go. Promising futures for both Bixby and Jenks.
2nd down and 13. Man in motion. Fakes the jet sweep. Going to look for number 4, and he overthrows it. Knocked down in coverage by Steele. And the pass was pretty good pass. Looked like it was on the money and just couldn't come down with the catch.
Yeah, and it's hard to come down to catch with Steele running in phase with you right there. Makes a great play on the ball. Said just a second ago Steele was going to have an opportunity to make a play soon, and right there you have it, man. He responded. I love athletes that are competitors that come back and make great plays, and so Steele's shown that he has that capability, and I think we'll see more out of him.
Well, you talked about it earlier. What I like is, as a high school coach, you like the idea that your 6th and 7th graders are adapting to what you guys have come to, and it makes it easier. Makes it easier for your kids to understand the verbiage. And you talked about seeing both of them shadowing their varsity. That makes it a lot better for you high school coaches to take over when you're starting them in 8th and 9th grade. Nice job there in coverage by, I do believe, that was number 84, Trevor Jones in coverage for the Spartans. But back on the deal, Coach Riggs has got to like it. Of course, having Coach Corwin over there, his kid's been part of the program, makes it a lot easier, and it really shows the respect that the 6th and 7th graders have for your program to want to adapt to make it easier transition.
Well, we love it. You know I love it here, and then all the years that I worked for Coach Trimble over there and now Coach Riggs. We love it when our youth coaches come to us and say, hey, we want the names of your formations. How do you line up in your defense? And if we can give them a handful of things that our kids are going to be familiar with when they get up to us in 8th and 9th and high school, it just cuts down on the amount of teaching that we have to do.
Nice dialed up pressure against the Spartans against the Trojans on 4th down, and the big turnover on downs and a big sack of about 13-yard loss. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the Trojan 37-yard line. And if Bixby can find a way to get a drive together and go down and score, it's going to be really tough for that Jenks offense to get something going.
Yeah, great pressure there by Sam McCormick, and then number 13, Jackson Tobin, just came in and cleaned up the scraps, just gang tackling. Man, I tell you what, great defense in this game.
Man in motion, I formation, twins to the left. Quick hitter with the fullback is Steele, and he just, like you talked about in the first half, just keeps those feet moving, and you're playing in front of the chains, and now it's 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, and Coach McClure did a little bit of this of some yo-yo motion with the H-back in the first half, but you'll notice right here they went with the fullback dive, but they also have the power play coming back should they want to go to it. They've blocked everybody down. Jenks is kind of in a 3-4 defense, but they're buried all the way down where they can block down and kick out over here on this weak side. Let's see if Bruce goes back to it.
Man in motion again, H-back in motion, which is McCormick. And now it's a toss sweep to the weak side, and it looks like it's well defended, but great job running behind the shoulder pads, as you talked about, and just breaks an arm tackle or two, and now it makes it 3rd down and manageable 1 yard.
Yeah, 2 guys out there, Gavin Steele doing a great job of blocking, and then Big Hawkins, Peyton Hawkins, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, a kid that's going to be a great football player. He's been at our camps. He's a tall, long, lean. He's a tight end, outside linebacker, offensive tackle type body, and doing a great job with the reach block and getting downfield on the 2nd level.
3rd down and 1, McCormick, the H-back in motion. Now we ran back to the fullback dive again, and he did a good job fighting that extra effort, and they get another 1st down. So now it's 1st down and 10. Picked up 1st down on this drive, and we're closing in on 3.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and it's 1st and 10 Spartans at the Trojan 26-yard line.
Yeah, and the thing I like when you see that offensive line there, everybody there's hats on hats, which give your skill guys a chance to make a play right there. So the Spartans have obviously spent some time blocking the right people right there, and another great run right here by number 40.
You notice how he puts it back, and instead of looking to bounce it outside, he knows everybody's pursuing hard, and a great job by the lineman getting downfield and keep the block and going. McCormick does a great job, he has for 2 or 3 years, of putting his foot in the ground. If you'll notice here, go cut it in and then cut back again, because number 13, Tobin, is out there blocking at the 2nd level along with Hawkins and Duffel.
Yeah, no, that stretch play is so great. You get everybody stretched, and you get one defensive lineman cut off, and you got a great cutback lane. Speaking of cutback lane.
What a move by the quarterback, Peters, as he dances in the hole, does a spin move, and brings up a 1st down and goal at the 2-yard line. What's this, Coach?
Excellent job right here. Just kind of an inside zone play right there, and getting a great block. I notice Pauly out there on the edge, getting the seal block on that backside, doing a good job running his feet, not letting anybody cross his face. So a good job there by Trey Pauly, whose older brother was a great running back here, who's now at the University of Central Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Pauly still hasn't, I don't know if he's found a haircut yet, but he hadn't had a haircut all season. And, of course, he's trying to act like his older brother is Tucker. You remember back his sophomore year when he was running back, he had that long, flowing blonde hair. And I told him a lineman's a little different.
Yeah, I thought I noticed a little squirrel pelt down there at weigh-in. Somebody sporting a little mullet there, and lo and behold, it was Trey. But great blocking right there. I love the inside zone call. And just a straight inside zone play, what we would call kind of a split zone look, sealing that backside in, and quarterback does a good job of riding the wave and cutting that thing back. This is going to be big right here if
is that Jones?
If Big Jones is shaking up and can't come back into the ball game, because he's their big run-stopping defensive tackle for the Trojans.
Well, hopefully he can get everything gathered back under him, but he's kind of walking real gingerly as he comes off the sideline. He also goes to the offensive line side too.
Yeah, but these teams get to this point, and a lot of times they probably haven't had to play entire games. They're so good. A lot of their opponents they put out early, so conditioning level kind of comes in sometimes too when you get in these situations.
Well, there's a nice run by Peters, and he picks up enough for a 1st down. Nice blocking over there by Tobin. You keep bringing up the same names. Number 17, I do believe number 47. If you notice, he takes his man 8 yards deep as Steele. Gavin Steele takes his guy 8 yards back, and nice job by Duffel and Tobin. And
yeah, I tell you what, Gavin Steele, man, I've been very impressed with him.
And the extra point is good.
I tell you what, that's a big extra point or extra 2-point conversion right there, because like you said, not very many teams can score and kick 2
they can
extra
attempt
points.
them, but make them. You're exactly right.
Yeah, and it's hard. You know, a lot of times high school teams, well, heck, today in the OU-OSU game, OSU missed one, lost by 1.
Yeah, missed extra point, and they tried to go for 2, or they wouldn't even have to worry about 2 if they made the extra point, because they'd already been up 1.
Exactly.
You know, it would have been a tie, I'd say, and then they kicked the extra point to win it. But here we are, 16-0, 2:29 remaining in the third quarter, and I know we're not far enough yet, but does the playbook start to shrink for Jenks a little bit right now?
Well, I have to think that they're probably going to have to start to try to dial up some of their bigger plays, you know, maybe some of their hitches and pitches, some of their reverse, and then continue to try to get the ball to some of their big play guys like Braden Barnes. So we'll have to see what happens.
Well, I know this. Braden Barnes is back here on the side. I bet you fire your kicker if you kick it to him.
Yeah, on this onside, you got to kind of be smart with who you're trying to get the ball to. Hopefully somebody that can't go the distance.
And the flag's over here by this umpire. I wonder if that means that it'd be offsides on the receiving team, because he's got third line and down the 50.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see what the penalty is.
Or did someone get hit?
Must be a penalty against the Trojans there. See Coach Corwin not so fired up about that.
No.
Big Hawkins in on that tackle. Just physical. I can tell, you know, he's got length. He runs well. He's blocker, understands the game. I can tell he's going to be an excellent football player. Daddy played at the University of Tulsa.
Okay. Well, it looks like Bixby had too many men on the field is what the call was.
So that's a 5-yard penalty right there.
Yeah, from the return, add 5 yards to it. So they'll start in Bixby territory. Jenks at the 47-yard line. You talked about it earlier. The onside kick, if you had a kicker that could kick it deep, but you're leaving a lot of field position. But so far, Bixby's done a good job of dodging the bullets that Jenks has thrown at them, because they have started at least 3 times around midfield.
Yeah, after this game, I'll look forward to visiting with Coach McClure, and I know they work hard on those onside kicks. We've seen some good ones. Be interested to visit with him on his philosophy, if he's just playing the odds, trying to get those, or if he doesn't feel like he has a kicker who can get it deep back in there. Looks like we got a false start right there by the Trojans. It's going to back them up 5 yards. So gave that 5 yards right back.
1:55 remaining. That false start backs them up 5, bring up first down and 15.
See what Coach Corwin dials up here. He's in a 2-back formation right here. This is a formation.
Well, he just barely got that handoff.
Yeah, it looks like Coach McClure coming back with the A-gap blitz just a little bit, and fortunately made a shoestring tackle right there. Who comes up and makes that tackle? Is that Big Hawkins from his defensive end position?
That's correct.
Yeah, calling his name a lot as the game goes on. I tell you, look how big he is right there. He's getting a feel for the game, really starting to make a lot of good plays.
Second down and 13.
And the clock continues to roll.
Yeah, rolling down under a minute to play in the third quarter. And they have found something they like.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that we just about took the snap, and
that's the third time now. What I've noticed they're doing, if you notice, Coach, is they're coming up hard, faking, and they got a false start. Well, now they come up and fake, and they snap the ball, and they're in perfect position, as that's McCormick, who is a tremendous athlete. I look for to see him grow in your program, because that's another just like your Noah West type kid. Long arms, athletic, and just does a great job which is most offenses out as a defensive player in space.
Yeah, this is a very good 7th grade bunch right here. We had 3 teams. 2 of them played each other in the semifinals to get to this spot, about 25 kids per team. So if we can get all those kids up to the 8th grade level, then on the high school, you know, you get 75 kids to the 8th grade, you're going to have a chance to really develop some good ball players.
There's our man in the backfield, number 47, Steele, in the defensive back, comes up, and because of the pressure that he's getting on, he can't plant his feet and get it under. As you see, he had to stop and come to it, and Steele came across it, and Lewis was underneath. I do believe that was Lewis underneath of the coverage, and it'll bring up a 4th down and about 16.
Yeah,
we'll call it 17.
Still doing a good job right there of flipping his hips and getting in phase and then making a break on the underthrown ball. Sometimes those underthrown ones are the toughest ones because, you know, the wide receiver has a chance to adjust to them. You don't know where the ball is, and still in that defense doing a good job. And I tell you what, they better get ready right here because you know they're going to the air.
Better hope you get time. Nice throw out of the backfield, but it's going to be short of the first down. Nice coverage by Tobin, and it'll be a turnover. But that ball was thrown right on the money to Turner.
Yeah, no, that was an excellent throw, excellent catch. The old wheel route out of the backfield. You see number 13 right there, Jackson Tobin running with him, and that's just tough. That's just tough right there for a linebacker to go cover a running back out of the backfield on the wheel route. It works at every level.
Well, that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter here at INFC Championship Saturday. 1 quarter left to play. Please stay tuned as we come back for 4th quarter action along with Coach Montgomery.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it with our best price guarantee. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
Well, we go back over the game summary. Well, we started off with an overtime game this morning. Coach, right out of the chute, first game, BA Collinsville 6-0, followed with Stillwater 12-6 over Bartlesville. Then we had Jenks in the 4th grade, 34-20, followed by a dominating performance by Bixby as they controlled the whole second half on the ground, 20-0. And then we closed out the 6th grade with Sequoia with a 27-6 win over Grove. And what we noticed on this, Coach, and me and Don were talking about earlier today, 9 different organizations represented today. It's not just been 1 or 2, but 9 different organizations represented today.
Yeah, it's nice to have so many schools represented, so many schools being involved in youth sports and youth football. It's fun to see.
Now we have quarterback sweep around the right side. Picks up about 6 yards, bring up 2nd down and 4. And once again, this is what they're wanting to do to keep that clock running, is what McClure is to, after so close last year, 24-22. And I know he still remembers it, and I know he's reminded of what a great way, if they can find a way to run out these last 7.5 minutes, it would be for him to end his youth coaching career, they would say.
Yeah, I think if you told Coach McClure that he'd have a 16-0 lead with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter, had the ball, he would take it. So let's see if they can finish the drill. This is what they've worked so hard for since the end of July.
Put your foot in the ground, there he goes, and he just like you said, runs violently through tackle and stays behind his shoulder pass.
Yeah, that's Jackson Tobin right there. Just they got several big, long, lean, fast guys that carry the football really well. I'm most impressed at the way this Bixby team blocks. They run the stretch play very well, and you'll notice offensive linemen and tight ends not only on the first level, but getting up on the second level, getting those guys reached, getting guys cut off along the way, and it's creating cutback lanes for some backs that don't necessarily have breakaway speed, but are physical runners, and you can win with guys like that.
It's 1st down and 10 at the 43-yard line, straight ISO, and just falls. It just seems like every time he gets hit, he falls forward. And that's what you want, fall forward.
That's reminiscent of a guy that played on this field that wore number 33 that knew how to finish games like that, and being able to fall forward and never have a negative play will win you a lot of ball games.
Well, that guy could also, if you missed a block, he could make up for it by trucking half of them. And here it is, 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 39-yard line. Now we ran a little fake jet sweep. Great job, and just carrying people. I've been around you for a little while now. That right there would raise hair up on your arms when you start seeing, you talked about closing games off. Look at the blocking downfield by all those guys.
Well, look at Hawkins right there. Not only is he on the right guy, he's under his pads, running his feet, moving people right there. You got running backs finishing. I tell you what, this is a physical ball club. A lot of these guys have been in SPA every summer, lifting weights already, learning how to do things right, and I don't know, I wouldn't bet against him in the 4th quarter.
Nice block by McCormick. We get a flag on the play. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We get a block in the back or a hold.
You know, those holding calls out here at this level are sometimes backbreakers because the teams aren't as proficient at throwing the ball. So that's going to be tough. Looks like Sam McCormick may have got his hands outside the framework of the body. Looking at official Ethan Rowland right there, one of the members of the Greater Tulsa Officials Association, and he's a film review guy. If you have complaints or anything like that, you send your video to him, and he lets you know, if you have a gripe or not. And so very professional. I can't say enough about these officials. They're calling games on Friday nights and then out here for the INFC Championship calling these games. So we're getting first-class officiating.
Single receiver to the right, single to the left. Shotgun formation, man in motion. Handoff to Steele, and he's trying to outrun him, and he puts his foot in the ground, and that's what we're talking about. Just go get it. Yeah, okay, they're a great job finishing it off, but he put his foot in the ground and went and got 3 or 4 yards, and now you got a manageable 2nd down and 10, and now you're right back like we talked about before. You're not behind the chains again.
Once again, my man Hawkins there doing a great job of blocking, and then got to throw a shout out right here to the big man Kyra Beatty coming up with a form tackle. Because not too many guys are bending still backwards right there. So excellent play on both sides, and still got a second really, really long.
H-back in motions McCormick. Straight ISO up the right side. Nice job. And that's what happens when you start wearing them down. And he gets down inside because he was right inside the one. It'll be 1st and goal for the Spartans. And I can hear the nail being hammered. But look at the blocking downfield at the 2nd level by the Spartans. Yeah. The great effort by number 3, as you were talking about, Kyler Beatty, as he did not stop on the play where he easily could have, and brings it down where they have to snap it again at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I have to think right here that the Trojans are missing big Jesse Jones up in the middle. Hopefully that young man's all right because he's a difference maker up inside. But yeah, I know he's struggling right now.
Delay of game.
Delay of game. Against Bixby.
That's tough right there to have to take that penalty, but also the clock should start back up.
First down and 10, or excuse me, 1st down and goal from the 6.
Look at those linemen with some weight out on their hands, getting some good push. Heck, Coach McClure may have known what he was doing right here, going ahead and to grind a little bit more clock to finish that drive. But this has just been a beautiful drive, I think. I think we got the ball right here. The Spartans got the ball with about 7.5 minutes left on the clock, and have really chewed up a ton of clock right here. So
great job by Duffel on number 3, Beatty, as Beatty tried to go inside in the beat gap, and Duffel just shoved him on down in the hole and just drove his feet. Big hit, talking about blitzing the A-gap. Now it brings up 3rd down, but Coach, what's that clock still doing?
The clock is running, and hated to take a delay game there, and I know Coach McClure did, but at the same time, just hang on to that ball, don't give up any big plays, and
you can run another minute off the clock. You want to score, of course, finish it off, but it's not the worst case scenario.
No, and this isn't exactly an offensive shootout. However, anything can happen, so you want to protect the football right here and chew that clock. Ooh, some big hits coming in there right there. That was number 6, Jack Turner coming in.
Beatty, number 3, your boy.
Just running to the football. Yeah, and
one of your favorite players.
Kyrie Beatty, I tell you what, some guys that are fast, are athletic. Got some good guys coming up in both of these organizations, that's for sure. I know Coach Riggs over there at Jenks is going to be excited to see some of these guys, and I know me, I've been watching this 7th grade bunch for a long time coming up through the program, very excited about them, paired up with some guys above and below them.
Pass is complete to Steele.
I love the call play action right there. Have all those linemen down in heavy stances and just run the tight end on a little corner right there. And, touchdown. It's hard to defend. See that, just a little corner route. A couple guys in the area right there, probably not the way it was designed right there, but still goes up and gets it and comes down with it. I tell you what, he has had an excellent football game.
Extra point is no good, but we look like we have roughing the kicker.
Final fly in towards the end of the play.
Let's see what Mr. Rowland says this penalty is right here.
He's going to wave it off because it was tipped.
And the flag will be waved off, and the point after attempt is no good.
Well, it looks like they're saying that it was tipped, so therefore, them running into the kicker after the fact was not a penalty. Well, after, like I said, we're down to 2:02 remaining, and they've dug themselves a deep hole, 22-0 Spartans, and Jenks is going to have to strike fast and quick and get a few onside kicks.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, the coaches won't relax until the last second ticks off, but I tell you what, Bruce looks like he's breathing a little bit easier down there, and you don't want to start celebrating yet, but I tell you what, just go ahead and finish this thing off, and that's going to be the cap to a very good season.
Yes. Once again, Bruce has done a tremendous job with the youth program. Very nice man. Called me a couple days ago. I called to ask about the Coffee Kid and wanted to thank me and tell me what they enjoyed me being around. And here's a guy that all he does is, coach youth football, and he reaches out, and it's always about somebody else. So hats off to him and the career he's had being one of the better coaches in INFC. So onside kick goes to number 16. That's Jack Davis, and the Trojans will take over 1st and 10.
1st and 10.
Yeah, and just kind of talking about that in youth organizations, Richard, you've been involved in youth organizations here in Bixby for years and years and years, since before I got here, but a lot of people don't know you spend each of your Saturdays up here in the press box, the Round Mound of Sound.
Yep.
I've heard you call a couple of times doing the PA announcing for each of these teams, all the cheerleaders, all the football players that are out here involved, and it's kind of a thankless job, but I tell you what, a lot of our guys, a lot of our players, when we get them up there, really appreciate the job you do and how you make it fun and a special experience for them. So you do a fine job.
Well, I appreciate that.
And it's a selfless thing that you do, I know, because you like being around sports, you like being around kids.
There's that pressure, and Coach, once again, that time he threw it off the back foot and couldn't get anything on it, as looks like Evan was in the backfield on the blitz, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10, and right now 3 more downs, minute and 20 left.
Yeah, Evan's done a good job all night, kind of a unsung hero of this bunch. He does a lot of things for the team. He plays a little tight end, plays some defensive end, plays all over the place.
He's a kicker.
He's a kicker, just a smart football player with a great attitude, and he will undoubtedly have a great football career.
Nice block on the edge, but I'm going to bet that's Jackson Tobin. That's just me guessing.
flying around, and then Big Duffel up in the middle. You know, I was just thinking about it. If you're a defensive lineman and you wear a single-digit number, you must be pretty good, because coaches aren't just going to issue a single-digit number to any old lineman.
No.
I assure you. We kind of reserve those for guys that are difference makers. And so anyway, old Brody Duffel up inside getting the single digit, and he's been doing a good job controlling the middle of that defense and that 3-4 defense, which all revolves around that nose guard all night long. Oof, look at him right there.
Well, you talk about that, and I'll go back. We're going to bring in a little bit during the varsity, of course, you know, doing a lot of the live stream at play-by-play. Your defense take a big turn when you got Javersack back. He was out the Jenks game, comes back. Next thing you know, you talked about setting the tone and everything, and that's what you got about it. And they're going to let the clock run out, and that's a classy move by Coach Corwin, not trying to push anything. And looks like your Bixby Red, we have 5th grade Bixby Red and 7th grade Bixby Red as your INFC 2018 7th grade champions. What a great job Coach McClure and them have got to be, and those coaches have got to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. All the hard work, all the dedication, and I'm just so impressed at the way this group blocks, the way this group plays defense. Both teams super well coached, great sportsmanship. I tell you what a great ending to a good evening.
And I'm listening to over there, Seth, I think, has had too many of the cookies. We're going to have a quick summary going over some games. BA 6-0 over Collinsville in 2 overtimes. Bartlesville came up on the short end against Stillwater 12-6. Jenks pulled away late against the Broken Arrow Tigers in 4th grade 34-20. Bixby Red, first Bixby team here today, showed a dominating performance with a 20-0 win over TYA, followed with Sequoia out of Claremore, the Eagles, with a 27-6 win over the Grove Ridge Runners, and followed up again by your Bixby Spartans here on Spartan Field and their last INFC game. Coach McClure and his Bixby 7th grade Red are the 7th grade INFC champions.
All right, Coach McClure, congratulations on an incredible win. This is the last time you have all of your boys together. What does this win mean to you all?
It means everything. You know, these kids have played this year like they've been on a mission, like they knew it was their last season, and they just came out and they took it. It's nothing but these guys right here behind me that did it.
How are they feeling right now? Talk to me about the atmosphere that you have standing behind us.
We've had a lot of stuff happen this year. You know, players getting hurt, coaches, you know, getting sick, but you know, they've overcome, and the feeling is just like nothing else.
You guys have a really strong family connection. What do you hope that these boys are going to take from this going into the future?
I hope that they keep this group right here and include all the other Bixby teams and go out and win more state champions, a bunch of them.
You guys gonna be state champions? Yeah! Congratulations, enjoy your win.
Thank you.
Watch his leg.
Once again, don't forget about Indian Nations lacrosse. Season begins spring of 2019. For more info, go to nyouithlacrosse.com. One of the widest range, the biggest growing sport in the United States is lacrosse, so go on nyouithlacrosse.com. Like to take us to break right now, as this is the last of the 7th grade championship Bixby Red as they finished up their season. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on this glorious Saturday here in Bixby at Lee Snyder Field.